So again, heading into this in-season tournament matchup, how are you feeling now that you guys are in the knockout round and another round against LA?
Yeah, I feel good. Excited about it. It's a new deal in the league, so it's an exciting time for players, fans, everybody. So I'm looking forward to it.
The first two matchups, obviously, you guys didn't have Book, and LA shaded over to you quite a lot, sent a lot of doubles. Just how much does having him out there change that complexion for you?
Yes, I still think that's gonna happen, but I feel like we can make them pay a little bit better now that we've seen it before. We've been around each other a little bit more. We got chemistry, so I think that trial and error is going to help us out this time around. But it's still going to be a tough task ahead.
Kevin, how juiced do you get to have another competitive opportunity against LeBron? I know you guys played in the finals several times, kind of another thing like that.
I'm excited to compete against everybody in the league.
David Booker was talking about he thought the in-season tournament has accomplished its goal to engage fans and create more buzz. What have you seen from it so far?
I think the NBA created buzz, and regardless, I think this is an immovable force. The league ain't gonna go nowhere. The fans gonna always be tuned in, regardless of what we put into the league. In-season tournament play-in, I think the fans gonna always be excited. It's hard to be excited around this time. I mean, it's not high-pressure games where everybody loves the finals and the playoffs. So as much as we can kind of mimic that part of the season, I think that'll keep the fans even more engaged in what they are. But I think they've been doing a great job of supporting the league regardless of what happens.
You think more should be on the line when it comes to this tournament?
Like what?
Maybe like a postseason something? Or
Nah, hell nah. I feel like I feel like you got to play out the season to figure out who should be in the postseason. I mean, I don't think an All-Star game incentive or in-season tournament should dictate what happens postseason. I think 82 should do that. So, but like I said, it's cool for the fans. I think we get more and more fans to watch the game of basketball and the NBA platform in general with the new in-season tournament. So it's been a success thus far.
With your post recently about Anthony Edwards sneakers, what he said he wanted to see you in his shoes, was that basically an eye for an eye approach based on what he had in his commercial a month ago promoting his AE1s?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of been an unsaid thing that Nike and Adidas compete with one another, and Nike being the biggest brand in the world, Adidas has been competing with them for the longest. And Ant this summer just openly came out and just talked about it. I think that was a cool, funny thing to do, is to take a couple digs at Nike, and and Nike responded back a couple times. I think Larry Miller from Jordan said something to some Adidas guys at a conference or something like that. So it's like the friendly competition type of deal. I love Ant. I love his brand. I love what he brings to the game. So I thought it was funny for me to tweet that. And that's my brand, I guess, is the Twitter guy. So I tried to lean into that a little bit.
Yeah, and they also had the recent sneaker of the year. I think Samba won over Nike's shoes, and there was some discourse over that.
Who created that list?
I'm not sure who created
it. So whoever created that really don't matter, So everybody got opinions though, man. But it's all funny games. I mean, it's a part of competition now. Shoe companies compete with one another. There's so many guys with signature shoes out right now. It's all good for the game of basketball.
Kevin, now that you and Book have had more time together, we talked about it on the podium the other night. Just how special it is to play with you. What's it been like to get more games under your belt with him?
Yeah, it's just special to play with a player who understands the game on that level. Has been at the highest level of basketball, playing in the finals, playing the Olympics, playing All-Star game. So he kind of understands what the highest level of basketball is like. And so we have, always have constant communication on what we see out there. And it makes the game easier for everybody when we're both on the court. So, the more games and more reps we get under our belt, the better we become as a team.
We've seen pretty much every defensive coverage under the sun, but with the way the Grizzlies were kind of top blocking you and Book last game, how did you like the way in the second half you kind of threw out those counters to that?
Yeah, I mean, playing against the Grizzlies the last few years, and Coach Jenkins, he's been throwing that in there, not just our team, but a lot of the scorers in the league. He's been implementing that style of defense, and it's effective. But having some pressure release options that we had in the second half, where we got some backdoor options, and we kind of slowed down and and simplified the game and got some cuts and was able to loosen up a bit. You've seen the game opened up after that. So we got to get used to all types of defenses, and that's just the nature of the game right now. Everybody is throwing junk defenses in there, trying to throw off rhythm of the offenses because offenses are so great in this league now. You got to figure out different ways to stop it. So we got to be prepared, and coaches going to keep us prepared.
Kevin, Frank was just saying about how these first two matches you had against the Lakers, he feels like you guys are almost a completely different team now. So how do you approach a game like this where you've played them in the past, but you have a lot of guys back and a lot has changed?
Yeah. Obviously, adding Book back is a huge factor into the whole matchup. But guys more settled into their roles. Is the second game of the season. I think we played 2-3 weeks ago. More guys just getting comfortable with time, and you can say the same thing for their team. They understanding one another more, and they know their roles a little bit more. And different guys are playing in the rotation. So I think it'll be two different teams out there come tomorrow night, and it should be a fun matchup.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, guys.